What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Secret Invasion, Episode 1. Many words went through my head as I was watching this. The word that popped up the most was why.
Why? 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 Why?
All right, so let's discuss this. The episode starts, as you can see, we're in Moscow. Agent Ross is having a conversation with an Agent Prescott. The Prescott agent, he is attempting to explain to Ross about a conspiracy theory that he has. So when the episode starts, I'm like, all right, this kind of like every spy show that you've ever seen. Because it's like every spy show that you've ever seen, it's pretty much guaranteed that one of these two people is a scroll. All right. So I'm kind of hoping that it's not like that, but all right. So let that.
Agent Prescott, respectfully.
So that's Agent Prescott. You know, is a typical spy guy name. So there you go. It's a little
What exactly?
bit of back and forth between. He has a bunch of stuff on the wall. It's back and forth. It's a lot of talking. So at this point, Ross asks him for some concrete information. He said he's not going to talk to Fury unless he gets the information. So I'm like, okay, they're kind of going in the been there, done that kind of direction. So, all right. This leads into a fight between Prescott and Ross. I guess Prescott thinks that he's a Skrull because this information can't get out. Again, typical spy TV show stuff. Ross eventually kills him, and I'm like, okay. So now, the way that they could go with this is that either Ross is a Skrull, and we won't find out till later on in the show, right? That could be interesting. Prescott doesn't change back, so all right, so he's not a Skrull. Like, okay, hopefully they don't go in the direction that I thought they were going to go in. But, who knows? Then there's a chase between Ross and some mysterious guy who's running behind him, is trying to chase him. He calls up Maria Hill so that she can come rescue him. So, like, all right, okay, this could be interesting. It could not be interesting. Then he falls off the roof, and there you go. He's a Skrull. So they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. I was kind of hoping that it would be different, but yeah. So here we go. He jumps up, falls, and dies. All right. So it's like, okay, I have seen that a lot. So again, I was hoping for something different, but I guess it is what it is. So turns out that the guy who was chasing him is Ben cannot pronounce his name. Ben Mendelsohn from the Captain Marvel movies, that character. So if you saw the movie, then you know who he is. And I guess if you've seen the end of Far From Home, I think you would kind of know. But if you've seen neither one of these movies, you would have no idea who this is. So then this starts. I've heard that there's some controversy with this, that it's an AI generated thing. I know one thing, that it's ugly. Nothing about this interests me because it just looks like a hodgepodge of this stuff. And so if they use a computer to do this, they should actually use a person. So that would be more interesting. But so we get to the end of this. In a field someplace, Fury is coming down from the space station. Again, if you watched all the shows, then you kind of know where he was at. You had to see the end of I think it was Far Away From Home, where he's up on the space station. I don't know. So this beam happens, and it's kind of weird because I'm like, is this an elevator or is this a ship? Because it looks like an elevator, but it could be an elevator from a ship. I don't know. They never showed it. He steps out. He immediately does the I'm an old broken down spy thing. Again, it's so typical of all these Marvel stuff. Is the male lead just can't be competent. He has to be hobbled someplace, and somehow, it's not really that interesting, but they do it in a lot. So, right, that could have been a ship. I wish they would have shown it. So I don't know if is you supposed to guess or what. I don't know. So Maria Hill picks him up, brings him back to their base, where he meets this guy. That's Ben Middleton. He is the father of the I guess the leader of the Skrulls on Earth. Right? He's on the council, yada yada yada. So they have a discussion. He gets kicked off the council because people are upset. The Skrulls are upset that Fury didn't fulfill his promise of finding them a planet. Him and Captain Marvel. I'm not sure why Fury would do that because they don't have access to ships. So I don't know how he can find them a planet. So unless something happened in the middle where he made that promise, I think they alluded to it at the end of Captain Marvel. I don't know. And then she just fucked off into space. And I don't know. So the younger Skrulls are upset about it. All right. So again, it's more talking. We're 13 minutes into the episode. It's a lot of talking. Not so much spy stuff. Then they go over the history. So again,
Skrull front for a terrorist attack.
They fill him in on what's going on. Nick Fury should know all this stuff because he's Nick Fury, but this guy doesn't. He's been up in space for some reason. They don't actually allude to it. Why? Pretty much at all. It is,
So Gravik's trying to start a war between Russia and the United States.
And that was Prescott's theory.
And he's going to use this bomb to do it.
The comic book Nick Fury would have he was in touch with everything going on, and that the MCU movies Nick Fury was the same way. This guy had a handle, especially the Nick Fury in the Captain America movie. I don't know who this dude is, so I don't know. He goes for a walk. Remember, he's in Russia. He is a tall black dude walking around, and they actually say something about that in the show about how you kind of stand out a bit, which seems to be a common theme throughout.
Go for a walk. You're going for a walk in Moscow at night. You're going to stand out.
Right. So, okay. So he does this. Rhodey and I guess this is the president. Well, I don't have to guess. They say that he's the president. They have a discussion about Nick Fury leaving the Saber. That's where he was at in space. He comes down. They don't know why he's doing it. It's like...
And unfortunately, we also intercepted an encrypted message from Agent Hill to Agent Fury. We haven't been able to decode it yet, but we know they're old friends. Given the fact that I could reach neither Agent Hill nor Agent Fury.
All right, so I hope this pays off somewhere later in the series, but for right now, is just another person letting you know how out of touch and old Nick Fury is right now. So he's walking around. You pay attention to this little girl who's out at nighttime in the middle of, I don't know, maybe Moscow is pretty safe. So he gets kidnapped by this person. She gets her goons to do that. So as he's talking to her, like again, I don't know who this person is. Apparently she's in charge of MI6 in Russia. She proceeds to tell him that he's old too. So you got him limping, and so they want you to really know that he's old and out of touch, which is a common I guess trope that they've done in so much stuff.
Well, that's wonderful.
So as he's talking to her, he places a device on a very obvious spot.
Yeah, make you...
Well, let's see if I can find it. Well, he places the device on a very obvious spot to spy on her. Now, she's the head of MI, like the local, I guess, chapter for MI6. So you would think that after he left, they would sweep this little area to find this thing, but they don't. Again, she tells him that he's old, blah, 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 blah. All right. Oh, keep in mind, they're still in Russia, right? So this dude just walks up to this little private facility, which is a decommissioned nuclear site. So this is where the scrolls are hiding at.
Home in my own skin.
So he comes up. This is supposed to be incognito in Russia. He has a bright yellow. All right. The scrolls is in the comics are their claim to fame is that they can infiltrate. Like they may not be the most powerful in terms of size and all that other stuff, but since they can shapeshift, they can infiltrate other races and spy on them and that kind of stuff. So typically you would think that he would pick a shape that wouldn't stand out. In the middle of Russia, this is going to stand out.
Take your natural form.
All right, so all right, so I don't know if this was like a diversity thing that they felt that they felt the need to hire a myriad of different types of people in the more speaking parts of this show. So as you can see, as you go through the show, the people who don't speak, they're Russians. There's white people everywhere. So this dude is hiding in Moscow, looking like this. If he was in Atlanta, I can see, all right, but not Russia. So it like, see in the background, it's like he should look like one of these people. But, you know, I digress. So she's showing him around. A lot of talking, more talking. You see the guy who's in charge of the little faction that is committing all these things. You see him in the back on the upper window. All right. I remember these from the from parts of the Captain Marvel show, because they stuck her in one of these things. So it lets them read like their thoughts. All right. So I'm not sure why this is necessary, because
What is your dream? Home in my own skin.
Yeah, so that's the mysterious boss. They kidnapped this guy, and he like basically copies him. Which I'm like, okay, he looks like he can be sneak around in Russia, but then he has him read his mind. I'm like, okay, so maybe he's an important guy that they need to know everything about him so that he can hide, like, and take his place. I'm like, okay, that could be interesting. And not be interesting. So this is where Nick Fury hid his little spy device, which you figured somebody would notice this if they sweep her office. But she's a spy.
Major world powers.
But no, nobody noticed.
How about the
They're
arrival
like,
of Agent Fury?
why would nobody notice
For a man
this?
who's sworn off Earth, he would not have returned without cause.
Got that right.
All right, so what's the deal with that? like, I don't really understand why he doesn't want to have anything to do with Earth.
Has something
They don't really
very
explain
big up
why.
his sleeve.
I get,
But the immediate threat
maybe
remains the
it
bombs.
happened in one of these
Vice
shows that I didn't watch. So because I didn't watch every show, there's like gaps of stuff that I don't know. So I can imagine if you just like a regular person and you watching this, you would have no idea about a lot of this stuff. And then more talking. Now this is a spy show. It's nothing thrilling going on. It's a lot of sitting around tables and talking to each other about hashing plans and what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do. So we're like 26 minutes into the show. You have one action scene at the beginning, but there's lots of talking, lots of people telling Fury that he's old. So this is the guy who's in charge of the rebel faction. Again, they're in Russia. Why he wouldn't look like a Russian, I don't know. I have no clue. Again, maybe it's one of those diversity things. I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense in the story. Everyone here should look like they're Russian because they're in Russia. And if you're going to sneak and do sneaky stuff in Russia, if you want to, he could be Middle Eastern or like a very mixed black dude. I don't know. Then if you want to hire a diverse set of people, then you make the setting match that, because it doesn't make any sense that these people who are spies would do any of this. So again, more talking. He's talking to the first guy that they picked up at the gate, and they're going about their I guess he suspects her. I don't know. I'm not sure what that was about. So again, this same shot has been in many. It just keep doing the same old stuff and everything. I don't know why. So, all right. So they go to talk to this art guy. All right. So sneaky spy stuff.
You poprosím?
Da.
All right. So she talks to him first. And after that, Nick Fury and the other Skrull goes to talk to him after she leaves. Maria sees the lady leaving. All right. So she does what is in every spy show, where she follows her, but they could have did it in a clever way, but hey, you'll see.
Comfortable ass Louis XIV chairs in.
All right, so it's more talking. We're 32 minutes into the episode. It's more talking. So they're interrogating this guy. At this point, they're trying to do the bad cop, good cop thing. So this shows that he's a Skrull, and he commences to just basically beating the crap out of Ben. All right, so, nice little fight. He gets the upper hand, and Nick Fury shoots him. So he's devastated by that because he doesn't want any harm to come across any of the Skrulls. You know, I can understand that, but they are causing all kinds of trouble. I'm not sure how this person thinks that they can stop them when they have a goal in mind that they're willing to die for without having to kill anybody. But I have seen this before in other stuff too. So it's just a series of, I've seen that before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. So Maria is following her. All right. So once she walks down this little spot right here, it will be pretty obvious to anybody that comes behind her that she's being followed. It's like, why? Like, I shouldn't be here. So why should this other person just be randomly walking down this thing? They get into a fight. You know, gets away. And I'm not sure where he came from. I don't recall her calling. Well, no. never mind. No, she did call him. So I don't know how he figured out where she was at, but okay. It is what I've noticed with people who aren't very good writers is that they tend to want something to happen. So they know how to start something, they know how to end something, but they don't necessarily know how to connect those 2 points. So a lot of magical stuff happens where he just happens to find them somehow. I don't know, maybe they could have shown that she had a tracker on her and they tracked that, so they knew where she was at. Kind of, I don't know. So they have a discussion. So I think he's not aware yet that that is his daughter. So we find out that his daughter went over to the terrorist group because she was disenchanted by the promise that was not kept. And I'm not sure how blowing up stuff is going to actually let them achieve their goal. I'm not exactly sure how many scrolls they are, but I know they're not billions of them. Because if there was billions of them, then they could probably find their own planet. So they have like a little heart to heart. And
What did you just give me the ball, please? Guy.
all right, so she knows who he is because he takes that shape a lot. He doesn't really, I guess he doesn't switch that much, and like he's Fury at times because he was Fury at the end of in Far From Home. Because at that point, Fury
And you walk away.
Fury was on the space station at that point. So I don't know why that was.
You know that I'll protect you.
You can't protect anyone.
Gaia, I know.
So he tells her that her mom is dead. So I guess she didn't know that. So I guess she didn't know that. So she having a little cry about it, which is understandable. So he goes to Fury goes to a Russian bar. So they have a little conversation. In this part, there is a scene that a lot of people have been talking about. So when I looked at it, I mean, I wasn't really outraged by it. It come across as kind of dumb. All right. So he meets Maria.
Повторите, пожалуйста. Товарищ?
Again, someone tells him he's old. So this seems to be a common theme throughout this entire episode of everyone telling him that he's old, that he's no longer the Nick Fury. So by them telling him that all the time, they're telling you that he's old. So I don't know why they want you to know that. I don't know why they just didn't let him be Nick Fury and then come up with a stronger reason why the Skrulls are doing the stuff that they did and have him rise to the occasion to do something about it. But I guess that would involve being a good writer.
Or you just covering your bases?
You gonna tell me why you abandoned Earth?
Yeah, so they go and they have a conversation about how old he is. All right. So they have a conversation about how old he is.
Do you think we kept the Cold War from going hot? Spooks like me, bad shots.
You can't say that.
No, you can't say that.
All right, so that's a line a lot of people have problems with. Okay. One, you would have to know that spook was a derogatory term for black people back in the 60s. Your average younger person would have no idea why. What they could have done was him say that. You can have her say what she said, and him say something like, well, I'm kind of old school, so that's just how we talk or something like that, and then move on. You didn't have to imply that the white person couldn't say spook and just leave it out there like anybody would know. Anybody, unless you're a certain age, would know what that meant. It's kind of unnecessary, and that's why I thought the line was more silly than anything, but it is typical Marvel at this point. All right, so they get into a discussion. She asks him why he's been up on the space station. He doesn't really say. So I don't know if the writers don't know how, like, why that yet, or maybe that gets talked about later. I don't know. But she again tells him that he's old. Tells him that if he's really not up to this, then he should just let her kind of do it. It's typical. It's modern Marvel. So she has it. She goes back to the base. His daughter goes back to the base. They have a discussion. It's more talking. We're 38 minutes into this. Not much has happened. This is a lot of talking. So she goes to go meet with her dad. They don't know at this point whether or not who she's betraying, but she's betraying somebody. So she's betraying her dad, or she's betraying the organization.
At least.
Fracking pods?
Most of their identities are kept secret, even from us.
Okay, so more information is given. I'm like, okay. So next day they go track down the bags. Like more espionage type stuff happens. It's following. Again, they're in a park.
I got eyes on her.
Nick Fury would stand out. So you would think that the MI6 who's watching him would have someone, this is a big event. Maybe something could happen. But if you're worried about a terrorist doing something in the city, you will go to when there's a large crowd of people, and then you would see if anything stands out, and Nick Fury would stand out. So they're following the bags at this point. All right. But they're following the bags at this point. And I think this is all right. So as in most of these type of shows, they can't find the people. So all right, let's see. There's a spot where all right, so okay, this guy, and this is this is basically what I mean about why did they need to get his why did they need to read his mind to do what this guy actually did? Because they didn't give any indication that he was an important person. So he's just like a regular dude, and regular people go missing all the time, or they just go do other stuff, and their family don't see him for a while. So he could have just walked around. Hell, this dude could have been someplace else. And so it's not like he's a guard or anything that you need for his mind to be read to do.
It's empty. No decoys.
Right. So it's every spy show is so many tropes in this. There's so many tropes in this show that you've seen a million times before.
No decoys.
Oh, all right. Okay. I kind of skipped over a little bit when he first sees and this is the next kind of thing that kind of bugged me. Okay. So this would bug me a lot. So you see a little girl again. So Nick Fury sees her again, and they give her the rainbow ball so that Nick Fury, you see her again and he sees her again. So now he's following her. Okay. So this part really bugged the crap out of me. All right. There is a crowd of people there. There is nothing on the other side that would hide a transformation from a little girl to this guy without people noticing. And so see, everyone standing. I understand that people tended to not be that observant, but he changes size. So it's not like he's a different, the same person, in terms of body size and all that stuff. And he does it again. She's actually looking in the direction of when this would have happened. So she would have actually seen this. But it just keeps going. And it's people that he's met. So it's to get him more intrigued. All right, so now, again, he has a gun. Nobody notices. Standing right next to someone as he's changing. how, like, what? Somebody would have noticed this. We live in a world where everybody has a camera. This is an event, so people will be filming this event. So if you are a spy, why are you doing this stuff that will make you stand out? Everyone around him is white. So why would you choose this form when everyone around where you're at is white? Again, you would stand out. You'd be quite obvious. But you know, it's modern Disney, so it's just, this kind of stuff just doesn't exist. Like, because everybody has to be the same. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so then he turns around and blows shit up. So he's blowing stuff up in a crowd of people where in modern society, everybody has a camera. If you are a super spy, why? It's like, why would the Skrulls do any of this? Like, what does this do? It's like, again, it's just, they want something to happen, but the guys who are writing this don't seem to know how to make it happen. So they just have it happen. Okay, so he's far away. All right. He's chasing him. Yeah. All right, so Maria's helping somebody else. Okay, I don't know which part where she's at, how close she is to where Fury was, because it looks like she's in a different section. So I don't know where the guys went. All right, so how did he get over here so quickly with Nick Fury actually following him, and why did he shoot her? Like, Nick Fury is the one who made the promise, not her. So I don't get what the point of this was. So he's gonna kill her. Like okay, why? Again, like why is he doing this? All right. So but she's dying and she tells him something. It is like they just took every spy show that they could think of and took every bit that they liked from those shows and jumbled them into one show in order to make a good spy show. But there's no intrigue. It's like, it's so many just stuff I've seen before. All right, so like she died. Okay, so she was upset with him because he didn't seem to care. That's part of the thing that when they had their little discussion, as she was telling him that he was old, she also told him that's like, you didn't seem like you cared because he didn't get in contact with her. Okay, so now he's distraught. So why didn't he keep in touch with her if all of a sudden he cares now? And that's like the end of the episode. So yeah, I think after this it goes end credits or her being dead. They just kind of leave her bleeding out. Everybody's running around. Yeah, and that's the end of the episode. I'm like, what the hell was that? I hope that the next episodes, they either explain stuff or a little bit better, or I don't have much faith, given what I just watched, that the next episode would be better. Hopefully they are, but I don't know. That's kind of my opinion on this. Yeah, you should go check it out, see what you think. So like and subscribe. Thank you. See you later.